Well, I think the key part for us is, how much we use it on our scout team practices. Whether it be on offense or defense, it's been a big part of us getting the most out of the reps and making the reps most efficient and quick as possible, as opposed to having to go in and have kids look at cards. And everybody knows how it's like to have kids look at cards. They forget what color they are on the card, they forget what position they are, and you're rotating kids in and out. Having go routes has been fantastic in regards to alleviating those problems. I mean, we'll still use huddle if that's what the look we want to give for a team, but really mostly we run two huddles, and those kids are getting those plays immediately with their go routes. They can line up and run the play, and there's really no question what they're doing. The other neat thing is it's allowed us to, when we're doing like a scout offense session, it's allowed our offensive coaches to coach kids more on the technique and the skill that they use at that position. So it allows us to translate what another team's doing and still get our younger kids developed in the positions that they might not get throughout a normal varsity practice just due to time constraints. So it's allowed us to develop our younger kids. And in that respect, I think it's helped our JV team be a lot more successful and build a lot of confidence in our players because they're being coached throughout a practice. We don't necessarily have to worry so much about them for sure knowing what the other team's doing because they see it right away. Go route. Now we can focus on technique and get them better as younger players, which I think has been really fantastic for us. And that's true on both sides of the football. I know in the past, for me, being an offensive coach at heart, it's been tough to get that scout defense team going with different movements, different blitz packages that you're trying to see. But the ability to use the go routes to flip those easily, to replay plays easily, and to re-show stuff. That was the biggest frustration for me as a coach was I just want them to line it up again so I can see a blitz again and make sure we're picking it up. And then we might be rotating kids in and out. And next thing you know, I'm getting frustrated and they don't know exactly what's going on. We just skip the play. The cool thing is we can just re-hit the plan to go route. They got it right on their belt. They can see what they're doing. And even if they weren't in the previous play, can show that same play, which has allowed us to make the most of the time. And really, it's allowed us to make the most of our kids' time as well, which I think is a big deal. Keeping efficient practices, not holding the kids all day to get what you got to get done. It lets them be fresher on game days and fresher throughout the week with everything they do. So it's been awesome with the efficiency of practice. It's been invaluable for us to get more time out of our practice and more out of our practice time. Well, first of all, I don't want any other coaches in my area getting them because I got to play those guys, and I don't want them to have the same advantages that we got for practice. I think if you want to make the most out of your practice time, it's a great tool. Like I had previously stated, the ability to give attention to kids that are on the scout team and get them better has been great for us with retention with our players. It's been a big goal of me since we're trying to kind of get a newer program off the ground. That those players, those younger guys know that they're not just there to be cannon fodder for the older kids, but they're actually going to get coached up on a regular basis by the varsity coach in their position. They're going to play on JV games or play in the future. I think is really we've had a lot of great responses from our younger players about how much they think our coaches care about them on the varsity level and improve them throughout a year. In the past, at other places I've been or previously at our school, we didn't really have that. And so I think that go routes have been a big part of that because it's allowed us to spend more time on the individual as opposed to just trying to organize a scout team practice. So that's been big for us. And I think if you want to help develop your players, your younger players, which is the key to success, because those are going to eventually be your older players, that it's that they're fantastic. The other thing is just the ease of use. I mean, the ability to drag and drop stuff from huddle and get it in there very easily. You don't have to spend the time drawing up cards, which to me has been great. And then also, we just started using Just Play as our playbook stuff, and that's super easy to use as well. So Go Routes really work with every system I've used play drawing, and so that's been great. The support's been great. Anytime I've called and asked for anything, it's been awesome. So I think if you're a coach that's looking to make the most out of your time in practice, to be as efficient as possible, to help to develop all your players and not just necessarily be worried about what they're running, but how they're running it, and help to get the best possible look. I think that helps too, right? I mean, if I'm not so worried about what a kid, if he knows what that motion is or anything, I can actually make sure that he's given as close of a real look as possible. You can more coach the nuances that you may see in another team and another player that you want to show. And then to be real, our kids have just really enjoyed that, enjoyed the fact that, okay, this is how this receiver runs a slant. You already know you have a slant, but this is how he runs a little bit different than we do to kind of give our corner the right look. And I think it's helped us be better on defense, especially because of that, which has been really, really cool to see. I mean, we've made a huge jump this year. We've had the best year we had in school history, and I think go routes are an important part of that.